Welcome to Coach Me, the podcast for women who want more. More clarity, more confidence, more you. We're Tanu and Catherine, friends, working moms, businesswomen, and real-life coaching buddies.
Each week, we cut the BS and bring you insights, tools, and truth bombs that help you show up stronger at work, at home, and in life. If we can coach each other through the chaos,
we can coach you too. Hello and welcome to the first ever episode of Coach Me. We are so excited you're here with us. If our podcast, our approach speaks to you, then please make sure to share it with a friend, because when women support women, that's where the magic happens, right? Now let's dive in with some intros so you get to know your hosts. Tanu, do you want to go first?
Sure. I'm Tanu, a girl mom, children's book author, and certified professional coach with over 18 years of international corporate experience. Over the years, I've led high-performing teams across borders, industries, and cultures. And through it all, one thing became clear. Real leadership isn't about authority. It's about presence, self-awareness, and the ability to inspire meaningful action. That realization is what inspired me to build the Conscious Leader Co., a coaching practice that helps leaders grow in emotional intelligence, lead from their core values, and create impact that sticks. Because when you lead with clarity and intention, you build trust and create a meaningful impact, not just on the business, but also on the people you lead.
Awesome. Well, lovely to meet you, Tanu. I'm Catherine, single mom, corporate leader in online advertising since 2008, and founder of Feed Slay Love, a platform for working moms who want to beat overwhelm and live their best lives. I've been a personal growth geek since I was a kid, obsessed with life hacks, mindset shifts, and finding ways to do things better. In my corporate career, I solve efficiency problems, and in my coaching, I help women solve the same for themselves. Looking back, it feels like it's clear that personal development and practical self-help tools have somewhat always been my thing. And now I get to share them with you. So, Tanu, how did we actually meet? Do you remember? The year is 2010. We are in London, UK. I have my first day at this worldwide known company called Hostel Bookers. You were my senior. I knew nothing. And I was like, oh my God, I hope this lady teaches me everything. And you did.
Who would have thought?
Is that how you remember it as well?
Absolutely not. I remember this very tall, ultra-confident girl. And I remember the heads turning when you walked into the room.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Two millennials, like destined to meet and share life with lots of parallels over coming 15 years and counting. We did so many things parallelly, like our lives were different, yet sort of, like two train tracks. Us getting married, having our girls, leaving London, getting into bigger firms, getting into bigger roles, and then getting into new decades together as well.
Yeah, big milestones, right? And both of our girls turning 7 this year as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now you only need to get a puppy and a divorce, and you're basically me.
It's very hard to find adult friendships that you can carry with you forever. All the friendships we had back then are not the same, but I am so proud to say that our friendship has grown and matured and evolved, all thanks to WhatsApp voice notes that we send to each other and keep updated.
Long ones.
Yeah.
Definitely. And I mean, there's one big parallel that actually brought us here, which is our passion to help others. Even if our niches are slightly different, we got here to finally do a podcast together. So when we started doing this coaching, you coached me pro bono for the last few months and helped me so much. I learned so much, and doing this together is actually the best evolution of it all, because that keeps us talking every week and also have a fun project together. Well, enough reminiscing. We are here now in the current day. A huge milestone for you was your first big webinar in front of that live audience as a coach. OMG, I was so excited for you. Give our audience a little bit of a summary. How was the webinar? Why did you do it? How did you do it? And what's next?
So, as I got certified in coaching, I did the energy based coaching certification from this institute called IPEC, and it's International Coaching Federation affiliated and very, very ethical and following all the guidelines that you need as a coach. Because now everyone and their mom wants to be a coach, an Instagram coach. And they just declare they're a coach, and some of them are doing really well out there, but I really wanted to make sure that I have all the tools and everything in a very responsible way before I step into this world of coaching, because at the end of the day you're impacting lives, and I wanted to do it in a responsible way. So one thing that really stood out to me throughout my coaching experience with IPEC was how much we self-sabotage and how much we hold ourselves back. There's this inner critic that holds you back. It's called gremlin in coaching circles. I was super fascinated with gremlin, and I've done a lot of work on my inner critic over the years using other kind of tools and techniques, but the tool and techniques that I developed after graduating from IPEC is something that's very, very close to my heart. So I wanted to bring that to the world around me and help men, women, whoever is in my orbit, really get access to that knowledge and, change their own world and work on themselves one goal at a time. So that's the reason why I did this webinar. And thankfully, the Women in Tech org that's based here in the US, it does have a global audience, but it's mainly headquartered in the US. So I am also on the board for the Northern California chapter. So when they found out about everything that I've learned and have been doing with IPEC, they were interested in me doing some kind of event for them. And we ended up doing this webinar, which had like 300 people registered for it. More than 100 people attended it. And people were joining from all over the world, like different time zones. It was so fascinating to see the engagement on the webinar as well. It resonated with everybody so much and gave me that confidence that the work that I'm doing, it does have a real impact on people that are struggling to meet their goals, their personal life goals, their professional goals, because there's some voice in their head that stops them from taking action. And that's what inner critic coaching is all about. What I do is I get into the crux of the matter with my coachee, with my client. I'm trying to understand what the source of their gremlin or their inner critic is, when it comes up, what they can do about taming it. And I use the word taming because gremlin cannot be done away with. It is a part of you. It stays with you forever, but you can learn how to use it to your advantage rather than be overpowered by it all the time.
100%.
I've been fighting my gremlin all my life as well, but there was always something that told me that there's something worth saying there, and just do it. So there was a time when I used to overthink every word, and even speaking in public was so hard. But now every slide, every post that I do, it just builds that confidence. And now I coach people through that same storm. So this webinar wasn't just a milestone. It was a moment where my purpose, my past, and my people, it all came together. And that's what made it magical for me.
That's beautiful. I think it's like that full circle moment when everything you've been working towards and everything you've been feeling and thinking and working on yourself aligns and becomes that teachable moment, shareable moment that benefits so many others, where you open up yourself, you show your true self, you're authentic, you're real, you're vulnerable, and you make others just not feel so alone, feeling those feelings or having those gremlins. You give it a name, and giving it a name gives it a cure. So you basically give them the tools to fix that, work with that, and to feel better. I think that's really what you've done with your webinar. I mean, I was there, I saw the reactions, the interactions, and the realizations. Like in the chat, people were like, oh my God, that's exactly how I feel.
Absolutely.
So what's next for you?
Yeah. So right now I am staying in the conversation. I'm really getting deeper and deeper into the research that I do around this topic. So I could bring more to my audience and my clients when I coach them. I am also launching a newsletter to keep the momentum going and share real leadership tools, mindset shifts for them and also things that I wish someone had told me earlier. So it's going to be an inspiration part strategy kind of newsletter that'll be delivered to your inbox in my true voice. But other than that, I'm also saying yes to more speaking engagements and opportunities where I could really make a more scalable impact. This webinar reminded me just how powerful it is to be in a shared space with people who are ready to shift. And I want more of that. So what's next? I guess more bold conversations and more helping people up letting that inner critic run the show. I think your plan is to have us do a gremlin session, right? A special session on gremlins.
The gremlins deserve that special attention.
Oh, yeah, they do. We will share my website in the show notes. You can get in touch with me. I do offer for the next few weeks a free strategy session. You can book the strategy session through my website and we can go over whatever your gremlin is trying to stop you from doing and a strategy.
Or anything else people want to talk about
Anything
in terms
else.
of leadership.
Absolutely. Anything to do with leadership, life. I am certified in all kinds of coaching. It's just that my niche is leadership coaching. So you can book a strategy call and we can talk about it.
Awesome.
Kathy, we both care deeply about coaching and help women who want more. How did you get onto this path?
I touched on it already in the intro a little bit. I'm a personal growth geek ever since I can remember. I didn't really see it then, but for the last years and decades even, I've been saving motivational quotes on my phone, like taking photos, screen grabbing, all the rest of it. And I have folders full of those. I've been really soaking up life advice from family, influences, everyone around me, seeing everyone as a teacher, and things that really served me, I have also tried to really share with others and help others improve their life quality and happiness with the things that I've learned. What helps is that I am a graduate in psychology and communication, as well as management. That mix of degrees, bachelor's and master's, really helps seeing the wood from the trees when it comes to life advice and tools and hacks to improve life quality, find purpose and happiness, and all of those things. I am a seeker of truth, a seeker of answers. I want to learn more about people, how people tick and everything. And I would say I've always been a communicator. At school, they called me the radio of the school. I always wanted to make sure people are informed, that people are aware of things and that we share. Sharing is caring. And I feel like people need to be on the same page more.
Another parallel, even in our childhood, I was called DBC, Delhi Broadcasting, because I had the same broadcasted to the world.
Yeah, I love that. And you see, this is us trying to just help and teach and make sure people are communicated with and just helped. When life finally served me with a decision that I couldn't avoid, which was basically moving away from the love of my life, London, back home during the pandemic and heading straight into a divorce, I just tried to retreat from it. I didn't want to make that decision, but there was no way around it. So I sought the help of a life coach back then. That was my first experience with coaching. I had therapy before, but that was my first experience with a life coach. And I loved the approach to gain clarity, to reconnect with my identity, to stay in the here and now, really gain clarity of my vision of my life and take charge again. That made such a difference. I wasn't honest with myself and I couldn't see it clearly at the time because I saw what I wanted to see. And it was such an eye-opening experience to learn to listen to my inner voice again, to trust myself, to love myself, to follow my instincts again, to have that vision for my life again. And during that time when I moved to my apartment with my daughter, this quote fell into my hands and I framed it on my desk to remind myself of that time and that feeling of stepping into my power and my authenticity again. And the quote goes like this: let go of how you thought life and love would be. Then you will find room in your heart for what's really meant to be there. And I still live by this every day. Whenever I feel like there is something not going according to plan and I latch onto it and I really want to change it and put that pressure on myself, I'm just like, no, I'm letting it go. And I'm letting go of that forced vision or idea or ideal that I'm chasing. And instead, I let it happen and really allow myself to see reality rather than dreams. It's really important to stay in the moment and stay in reality. It's great to have goals. It's great to have plans and make dreams come true. But, you can't force these things. And you always told me this back in our 20s, you can't force good things. Something like that you always said. Do you remember?
I did. I remember you handling everything so gracefully and so wonderfully. Like you had your head on your shoulders, like you didn't lose it. Everything was happening at the same time for you, and having a small child in the mix of everything, changing your life. You uprooted from the place you so loved, you always dreamed of going and living in. You came back home. You had to set up your life all over again. And then the divorce, which was the biggest blow of everything that you were dreaming of doing. And you were always such a giver, someone who had so much to give in a relationship. And now I see why. Like you have this higher coach in you that's always there to help you with coming up with all these pearls of wisdom at the exact right time when you need it, to help you from breaking down or losing your shit when the stakes are high. And that's what I saw when I witnessed you throughout that process, and how gracefully you handle yourself. Ultimately, you cannot help other people unless you've really tried all these things on yourself. I can take a peek behind what was going on in your head and how you were holding on so hard when everything was breaking apart, and how you came out so beautifully on the other side of it.
And feeling that peace now that I never felt back then. Feeling that peace now is the biggest win for me. My daughter and I laughing every day, feeling peaceful, being happy, feeling free, and not carrying that weight anymore. But, it's not always been just graceful. If you would have seen me lie on my sofa, just watch Netflix till it's finished, basically. It was a tough time. There's no lying about it. There's no sugarcoating. And yes, I obviously tried to hold it together like everyone would when there's a small child involved. You just went through heartbreak after heartbreak, and that's in the middle of the pandemic as well, which is already scary enough by itself. So it was a testing time. But I remember one key moment. You and I had a phone call and you triggered something in me. I had just settled into my flat with my daughter. It was right after the divorce and after moving out. Like, I felt so guilty for watching Netflix every night. And I was like, what am I doing with my life? And we had a chat, and that triggered me to realize all of these hundreds of motivational quotes and life hacks that I had screen grabbed on my phone, that I had collected. What for? All these books on tools and psychological things, all these things that for like a decade before you and I exchanged and read about. It kind of all fell into place then. And I was like, oh my God, I am going to start a business called Feed, Slay, Love. I finally had that name because my biggest life-changing movie was Eat, Pray, Love. That opened my eyes to self-improvement so much, even though I did it then as well already. Feed, Slay, Love was born. And all these hacks and quotes and ideas and tools finally got a home, basically. It all came together. All of the years and years of work and thoughts and everything and taste making basically came together. And that was like 3 years ago now, I think. And now I'm about to launch an online course, which is called From Chaos to Clarity. And it's aimed to help women with overwhelm to gain their power back and learn self-love, boundary setting, and get to know themselves again and their vision and their identity and their purpose in life. So that's a full circle moment where all my pain, all my fears, my trials and tribulations seem to finally really pay off as a blueprint to help many women, I hope, in the future. The course isn't done yet, but it's nearly done. And when it's out, you will hear it here first.
I am so in awe of you, like everything that you've created out of the chaos that you had in your life, making the best lemonade out of the lemons you got. It's just very, very inspiring. So let's change gears and chat a little bit about a win and a WTF moment of the week.
Oh, yes. We need a little pick me up now.
Go ahead, Kathy.
Well, whilst I'm speaking, my biggest win of the week is definitely getting this off the ground finally. Having a podcast a couple of years ago was so lovely. I loved doing it. And my dream was always to do it with someone. And you are the most natural fit. Us talking every week. I'm loving recording this with you. It's finally gotten real. That's my win of the week. My WTF moment of the week, on the other hand, is about men who should be cancelled. I mean, seriously, what has happened to men? What has happened to kindness? I just feel like a real man needs to be secure, needs to be kind, and needs to be in his own power. I just see so many men at the moment who just are bitchy, insecure, bad comments. I don't know. I need more better men. I'm a single lady putting it out there. Men, get better.
These are grown ass men
No.
who just do not have any control on their tongue and no manners. Go back to your mama, learn some manners, and come back.
Exactly. I won't be your mama.
I definitely have a very, very special place for this podcast in my heart. Like you said, it's a testament to our friendship. So love it. For me, my biggest win was that my first webinar was such a hit. Obviously, my gremlin was at it, trying to tell me, oh, maybe you're not good enough. But everything went so well with the webinar. And I was only hoping and praying for one thing, that whoever comes and attends, please let them walk out with some value. And that's my goal. I really want to provide and help people. And my what the F moment was the confusing California weather. I know people hate on me whenever I complain about California weather because they're like, it doesn't get better than that. But it yo-yos from 28, 29 degrees Celsius. And then when you step out, it feels like it's 14 degrees. So you look outside, you want to head out in a tank top. But as soon as you walk a few steps, you want to run back home and grab a jacket. That's my WTF. I could really use one type of weather now. I'm carrying my jackets all around.
I love that you still complain about the weather after you lived in London for a long time. So you can take the girl out of London.
Yeah. Okay, now that we're done complaining, let's inspire our audience a little bit. Kathy, why don't you share a quote that really shook you or caught your attention recently?
Oh, yes. So I'm subscribed to a great newsletter that is from Dr. Chatterjee, his Friday 5 newsletter. He always has the best quotes on it. I don't know how he does it, but they always hit home. A couple of weeks ago, there was a quote that said, I sat with my anger long enough until she told me her real name was grief. It's a quote from C.S. Lewis. And that really hit home because I feel like anger is always the easier emotion, the first emotion you pick that doesn't give away vulnerability. I feel like when people react in anger, there's always something behind it. And I just thought that was so beautiful. So yeah, that really stayed with me. How about you? Did you have a quote that impacted you recently?
Yeah. The one that you shared is so deep. You're right. There's always something behind it. So my quote is, most of us have two lives, the life we live and the unlived life within us. Between the two stands resistance. It's a quote by Stephen Pressfield. I love Stephen Pressfield's quotes, but this one in particular resonates so well with the gremlin work that I do. That resistance, how many dreams die because there's resistance in taking action, how we don't want to do what we really want to do. So yeah, I love that one.
Oh God, the unlived life within us. Yeah, I feel that. Cool. So let's end this first episode with a mini boost, a little boundary to try this week. If you want to take something away from this episode, we want to give you a little tool. If you have unfriendly men in your vicinity like me, this might be a simple boundary to set, a little exercise to do this week. So we challenge you to take this on. Tanu, do you want to talk us through this one?
Okay, so this week, when someone oversteps or pushes your buttons, you don't owe them a story. Just don't respond the way that you've been responding to them, and see the power shift. A clear no or even calm silence is enough.
I love that power shift. We all need that power shift, powering you up now. Stand your ground, hold your power. That's more than enough as a response. Well, that's a wrap.
Thanks for hanging out with us on Coach Me. Got a question or something you want us to coach through? Slide into our DMs or drop us a message. We might feature it on the next episode.
And hey, don't forget to hit follow. Your future self will thank you. Just one more quick note. Everything we share here is based on our own experiences and coaching tools. It's not medical or mental health advice. So if you're struggling or need support, please reach out to a qualified professional. You've got this and we've got you. See you next time on Coach Me. That's it.